Doing Code there, back again. Obviously, as everyone will know, if you've subscribed to me, what I'm about. For those that don't know, Cody Lachey, reformed criminal, been in prison, been on gangster documentary, been involved with gangsters, gangs. Now do interviews with the media on crime, my experiences of crime, prison issues, prison reform, speaking out for prisoners, all that good stuff. Right, I dropped a video yesterday on preparing for prison, and someone commented and asked me to do a video on prison violence, things like that. So prison violence, bullying, targeted, who gets targeted, what happens if you're fucking involved in a situation, blah blah blah. Right, so obviously I've just got out 3 weeks ago today. I got out of HMP Forest Bank, Cat B prison in Salford, run by Sodexo, private prison, just on a little 4.5 monther. Prison, obviously there's a lot of violence within prisons, of course there is. Prisons, you've got two sorts of inmate, right? You've got you've got a couple of different types of inmates, to be honest, right? Like categories and stuff. Like you've got your nonces and your vulnerable prisoners, as they're known. They're your dirty fucking nonces, rapists and stuff like that. They at Forest Bank, they're on H2 and also C2 as well. But the thing is with nonces, because there's so many of them in the prison system, they end up in general population as what you call DNUs. DNUs stands for Do Not Unlock. They have a different regime to everybody else. When the lads are out on social, they're behind the doors. Then when the lads are locked up, the nonces, the rapists and all that are allowed out. As a cleaner on my last sentence and stuff, you came into contact with DNUs because we have to serve them food and stuff. So that's that. But yeah, violence does happen in prison, of course it does. Violence happens in prisons for a whole host of reasons. You could be in debt, which means you owe money to people and you put yourself on OP, or own protection as it's called. They've got a different regime to the lads and stuff. When the lads are out, they're locked behind the door, and then they get out and mix. They could become a DNU. But violence, they still get targeted, and it still happens, man. Because when they get down the main, if they take themselves off OP, own protection, then they get targeted. Nonces get targeted. People get swilled. Swilled means can be piss or it can be scalding hot water. It happens. Like, prison's a violent place, you know what I mean? If you take someone for a mug in prison, chances are you're gonna end up getting involved in a kick-off. Kick-offs can happen many different ways. You've got shanks, you've got hot water, which is the weapon of choice for a lot of people. Homemade blades and stuff, razor blades melted into a toothpaste, to a toothbrush, and used it to slash you from ear to ear. You get retributions, you got it's cliquey in prison. Like the Scousers run with the Scousers, the black kids will run with the black kids, Muslims and Pakistanis, they run together. They all back each other up and stuff, and so if you go after someone, their boys could come after you and stuff like that. Violence happens on a daily basis throughout prisons, whether it's prisoner to prisoner or prisoner going after a screw. It's just when you've got lads that are full of testosterone, right, getting about on the landings, angry, pissed off because they're in the prison system. Prison's easy, you know what I mean? But like I say, when you're locked behind your door for long periods of time, people got mental health issues, they've got anger issues. A lot of people are in for violent offences, anger issues, beating the missus up, assaults, GBH, assault on police, everything, you know what I mean? There's some angry lads in prison. And because you're in prison and stuff, and you've got all these guys full of testosterone getting about the wing and stuff that are angry, obviously kick-offs do occur. Little things over people nick your TV. Like you'll go for a shower, you come back, your TV's gone because there's not enough TVs on the wing and stuff. People steal televisions to order. Like someone will get offered some spice and say, right, go and grab his TV when he's in the shower, I'll keep an eye out, blah blah blah. So then, like I say, people fight, people kick off. You've got sweet grasses. Like if you've got a situation with someone, right, they'll say, well fucking come on then, and they'll do it on the landing in front of all the screws. Now they're sweet grasses. That's what you call sweet grassing. That's where someone lets the screws know, like on the sly, like kicking off and making a scene, yeah, the screw's going to be onto it straight away. The lads that have got something about them are like lads that are on my last sentence and stuff. They just go behind the door. It's called going behind your door. For those that know what going behind your door means, it means if you've got an issue with someone, you cross paths, you cross words, you say, right, get in the pad. So in other words, get in the cell. Let's have it. Two lads will go into the cell, or three lads, however many people are beefing with each other. They'll go into the cell and they'll just close the door and they'll have it. And then because everyone's eyes out here, or they've been cut and they're bleeding, or the nose is broke, or teeth are missing, or they're smashed to pieces, security then get onto it because people you can see the visible damage. So then they get onto the cameras and look at the cameras, and then you get locked up. You get locked behind your door because you're under investigation. If you've got anything about you, you keep your mouth shut. You don't talk. You don't want to be a grass in prison, do you? To be honest with you. You do not want to be a grass in prison. Just keep your gob shut. If you've owed someone money and they've come into your pad and give it you can't really complain, can you? You owe the person money, you've taken the piss, you've been given a kicking, right? You keep your gob shut. But to be honest, in my honest opinion, is fight back in every situation. I mean, I'm 6'4", I'm 20 odd stone, yeah, I'm a big unit. I was a pretty laid back kid, and then incidents happened within prison where I finally put my foot down and just said to lads, right, tell you what, get in the pad. And certain people didn't want it. And well, nobody wanted it, so I didn't end up scrapping, but I put it on the toes and they didn't want to know. Like I say, there's a lot of angry lads in prison. It does happen, of course it happens. Violence is a big thing in prison. If you've had a straightener with someone, you've got to have eyes in the back of your head. Not all the time. If you're sweet with everyone, they're sweet with you. But if you piss someone off and cross them, or you've had it with them and you've give it to them, you've got to have eyes in your back of your head, because chances are they're going to come and try and wig you, like get you, when you're not looking, when you're not paying attention. You could be in the shower with your back turned, someone comes up behind you, they throw scalding hot water at you. You could be in the shower, someone comes up behind you and fucking fills you in from behind. Someone could steal a pool ball from the pool table, put it into one of the socks, run up behind you or in the shower, bam, smash it on the head. You spark out, you don't know what's happened. Again, you don't speak to the screws, you don't mention anything. If you have an incident with someone, right, you don't start saying, oh, he done this, he done that. You just say, I slipped or whatever. People that get targeted in prison, like nonces, right, the VPs, yeah, like I said, they've got their own wing, yeah, but because there's that many in the prison system, they end up in general population. They're locked behind the doors, they're called DNUs, do not unlocks, like I've just said. They get targeted and stuff as cleaners and stuff. There was one guy, I won't mention his name, but we got told he was in for granny bashing, and then we found out he was in for raping his ex-bird. Things were done to his food. I won't go into the details, but his food was tampered with from the lads, rightfully so. He was a nonce, man. He was a rapist, mate. He raped his ex-bird, mate. So we give it like finger. Because if you're clever in prison as well, if you've got an issue with someone, right, and you don't want to get nicked, or you're on a short sentence and you're going to get out soon, and you've got a problem with someone, what some prisoners do is they'll offer some spice or something. They'll get about the land in the wing. They'll find out who's got some balls on them, who doesn't give a fuck, because there's always a loose cannon on the wing who's ready to do some like crazy shit for money, well, for spice. Because spice is super addictive. So it goes on, like I say, it goes on, and then you give the lad some spice, he goes into a pad, he'll wig him, he'll scold him, he'll slice him, he'll stab him with a shank and all this sort of stuff. And it goes on in prisons throughout the country, from Cat A's to probably Cat D's. It wouldn't surprise me. Like I say, prisons are cauldrons of fucking it's always on the boil, right? You'll understand, for those that know that have been in prison, you'll understand what I mean, right? There's always tension in the air, and then once there's a problem, you just know. If you swap words with someone, right, and you walk away, or you give someone a slap and you walk away and you think it's done, if the lad's got something about them, it won't be the end of it, because they'll just come back at you. Like I say, I've crossed words with people, and I've offered people out and stuff, and it's never come to anything. I've never been involved in a violent incident in prison, but again, I was one of the biggest lads on the wing, so that's probably why. But again, size means nothing in prison, you know what I mean? If you've got a reputation, yeah, if you think you're a big hard man on the out, right, and you go to prison, I'll guarantee you straight now, you could be the handiest fucking lad that you know, right? But chances, there's always someone bigger and fucking harder. I'm not talking about screws. Screws don't come into it, yeah. Boy, one-on-one, the lads, yeah. Some ballsy kids out there, and like I say, don't give a fuck how big you are, how bad your reputation is. If they want you, they're gonna fucking get you. But if you don't have issues with people in prison, if you're sweet, if you're not ripping people off, if you're not fucking, if you're not like getting drugs on tick and you're not paying back and stuff, you won't have issues. To be honest with you, the people in prisons that get issues is people that kick off on the landing, right? And the lads get locked up. Yeah, you'll get shit. If you jump up on the bars, right, to make an issue, so that fucking like if you're pissed off at the screws or you want to get moved to another prison or another wing, you jump up on the fucking bars, right? All the lads get locked behind the door, yeah. So they're gonna go sick at you, right? Fuck it. There's so many violent incidents within prison. You can't even describe what goes on. I've seen people. Some of the cleaners got sacked for fucking filling lads in. They ended up down the main. I've had it where someone's walked into a pad and one of the lads who was a top lad, I got on with him, they just nutted him and fucking like split his fucking nose, was all across his face. Stabbings, scaldings, being swilled with piss or hot water. It happens, man, and trust me. The thing is, as well, one of the cleaners on my last stretch stabbed one of the other cleaners and tried to stab the other cleaner in the eye. I didn't approve of it at all, because like I said, they were both top lads, and it just shouldn't have happened, to be honest. But a little bit of banter that got out of hand, and then one of the lads reached across with his plastic fork and tried to stab the lad in the eye. So like I say, prison can explode into violence in a second, in a millisecond. It really does happen. But like I say, it doesn't kick off for no reason. There's always a reason behind someone kicking off. If someone's mugged you or had you over or taken you for a mug, or they owe you money for drugs and stuff, prison's a very selfish place where people are trying to get what they can get. Like if they're after drugs, they want to score the drugs, and then they when they owe enough people money on the wing, then they try and get out the back door. They try and get moved down to the main. But prisoners, you know what I mean? Like, just because you're in the top bit of the prison doesn't mean that you're not going to have friends down the bottom bit of the prison, because obviously people work in the workshops, they go to the gym, so you know lads off of the wings and stuff, and then you might be in the top bit of prison, you might have an issue that someone that's been moved down to the bottom, you can still get that person in the bottom bit of the prison filled in. It's going to cost you. Might cost you money via a postal order sent into the lad that's going to do it, or it might cost you some spice or weed or fucking gabbies, which is a powerful pain-killing drug that people crush and snort, which is, you know what I mean, and it goes on. Prison's a very ruthless place. If you want to fight, you can fight willy-nilly. Screws love a bit of violence and stuff. They carry videos on them now, CCTV, that they have to press and it turns on. Screws fill in lads. Then the lads remember this, and then the lads go after the screws. I've seen it happen way too many times and stuff. If you hit a screw or you hit another lad and you're caught on CCTV or something, you can get extra days added to your sentence. You might get CC, which means cell confinement. Like the lad that was a cleaner, he got CC, cell confinement. He lost his job and he was put on basic. For those that don't know, basic pretty much means you're only allowed out of your cell for an hour a day. You get half an hour in the morning and half an hour in the evening. So just to get showered, use the phone, stuff like that. You've got no TV, you've just got a prison radio, and most of you don't have prison radios. But like I say, in prison, like I say, if you have one over on someone, they will come back and fucking get you. It's as simple as that. Prisoners have long memories. So some prisoners will have a straightener, and then once it's done, after an hour or so, they walk up to each other, shake each other's hand and say, fair enough, we had it. Right? Simple as that. Then, obviously, one eye might be out here, the other lad's eye might be out there. They get the screw speak to them, what happened, or we fell over in the shower or something, you know what I mean? Nobody talks to screws. You do not ever drop names, you do not grass, it doesn't happen. And if you are a grass in prison, you're going to get fucking stitched up. The old adage is snitches get stitches. There's no place for grassing in prison. in any which way. You do not grass. You keep your gob shut. You if you're involved in an incident, you've done something, right? You get involved. You have it. You keep your fucking mouth shut. Yeah, man. I hope this, like I say, that then there's revenge. You fucking, like, you get revenge. You go after the person. You stab them. You shank them. You might pay someone to go after someone, swill them, fucking all the rest of the stuff. But like I say, it's prison. It's not violent. If you're not a dickhead, right, or you're not like taking a piss, you won't end up involved in violent incidents. But like I say, if you are and you're having people over, or you're robbing from people, or you're grassing, people can fight in prison over anything. A little thing in prison, a big thing on, a little thing on the out is a big thing in prison. So a little incident on the outside, if you was on the out, you'd be like, yeah, it's a minor. But in prison, it's the biggest thing in the world, and you're spewing, and you're kicking off, and you fucking, you know what I mean? You're making shanks, and fucking, you want to get that person, you want to harm them, you want to scar them for life. So when they look in the mirror, every time they look in the mirror, when they're scarred up, they look and think, you know what? That's from him, that. Right? And that's just the way it is. Right, guys, I hope to give you a little bit of a shout about violence in prisons and stuff. Anything else, comments, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Speak to you soon, guys. Bye.